why does video work? Um, at the end of the day, you want to grab attention and evoke delight. You mentioned these 4 E's. The 4 E's are like the emotional, empathy, education, and entertainment aspects of making these videos that people inherently just form a connection with. And these are genuine connections. And realistically, being able to see someone's face, hear their voice, makes it a lot more personal. And it's the next best thing of being right in front of somebody. So that's why it works. And so I always challenge you to reflect on your entire day. What influences your thoughts, emotions, your habits, um, and just think about like your types of interactions you've had with people. And realistically, video is the way to do that throughout your entire day. So that's why we built Vidyards, to help businesses drive revenue, improve performance through the strategic use of online video. So you think of video and you think of, okay, video creation, you think about hosting videos, you think about communications internally or externally. And where does video fit? It's sales, it's marketing, and it's support. And Vidyard really carved out this niche where it's like, as an organization, you can bring on a comprehensive tool that taps into all three, and then it becomes scalable within your business. So that's where we fit. And looking at these words that are sitting inside of each of these categories, those are, I hate using the word buzz terms, but those are definitely keywords that through this presentation start thinking about. So for instance, for sales, the video creation, effective prospecting, shorter deal cycles, and we'll tap into that a bit later. For marketing, it's demand generation, lead scoring, and knowing your audience. And for support, it's shortening your ticket times, your customer experience, and your adoption / renewals of new business and customers. Oops.
While you're bringing your presentation back,
Yep.
Something that we all obviously know, at least if you're in the receiving end, is I sent everybody on this webinar who RSVP'd for this webinar a personalized video yesterday. And so when we think about effective prospecting, when we think about shortening deal cycles, one of those big things is just to understand who's engaged with your content. Mm-hmm. So with a video creation tool like Vidyard, I know if you actually watched that video that I sent you. I know if you watched 5% of it. I know if you watched 100% of it. So some of those sorts of things are so key for people in a sales and marketing role. Anybody who's just trying to drive growth for their organization, to get that feedback, and you get it in pretty much near real time. You'll get a notification. Hey, Ali watched 98% of my video. That's somebody that I want to be thinking about more, and maybe a little bit more aggressive in my outreach than somebody who didn't even bother to click on the video, or clicked on the video and watched it for 5 seconds, and so on and so forth. So it really drives these kind of micro decisions for growth teams.
Yeah, buying intent is huge. Being able to gauge out exactly how much somebody cares about your message. And I used to say myself when I would send out videos, and this was just an action, like an immediate knee-jerk reaction. As soon as in real time I were to get somebody to watch my video, whether it was 1% or it was 100%, I would call them right away. So they clicked on my video, they watched my video, and whether they were involved or engaged or not, they know who I am. So when I call, it's not out of the blue. And the reactions you get from people when you call them right after they watch your video are typically pretty good. They're like, yeah, you know what? I just watched your video, and guess what? I'm not interested. Or they'll be like, you know what? This was awesome. Yes, I would love to have a conversation. This was a great video. This was very informative. But nonetheless, your time is super valuable as a BDR. So that's huge. But for the video-enabled sales team, so we'll tap into sales, and this is a perfect segue. When you talk a little bit about sales, as sales executives, as sales reps, whether you're an SDR, a BDR, an AE, or even anyone post-sales, we keep doing more of the same. It's like text, emails, phone calls, social messages, which are effective. Don't get me wrong. However, everyone is doing the exact same thing. So there's too much noise and too many distractions. If I were to open up my email right now and you were to see what my inbox looks like, you'd be like, do you ever check your emails? And to be honest with you, other than about a 2-second overview or quick skim of an email that I get from somebody, I actually don't really engage too much with all these emails. They all look the same. They're cold and impersonal. Most of the time, you get one of these videos, and unless you know who it's coming from, you do not care to watch it or look at it. So it's not engaging. And information consumption has changed. So you want to be disruptive of that pattern. You want to do something different to really stand out, especially if you're out there, as a sales warrior, trying to make your quota, trying to hit targets, and inherently trying to affect your organization's pipeline and revenue. So this is what a typical email looks like, especially like post having a meeting. I remember when I used to write summaries for after a meeting, it would be this big. I'd send it over. I wouldn't even know what they cared about. After, did they read my email? Did they send it off? I didn't know any of that stuff. And basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to shorten it. So instead of having this massive, text email, it would be a block with a video inside of it with 1 to 3 key sentences. So the person reads them, but the bulk of the message sits inside of the video. So it's a lot cleaner and easier to retain that information.